Start. Welcome, and happy Wednesday to you. Happy Wednesday. So glad to be here with you, and really looking forward to this live day where we're going to be going deep into some questions around narcissistic abuse and the energetic connection around narcissistic abuse. So, what we're going to be talking about today is really about energy's everything. Energy's everything, and why no contact is not enough after narcissistic abuse. So, the topic today is energy is everything, and why no contact is not enough after narcissistic abuse. And so, I'll talk for about 10, 15 minutes or so, and then we'll take some questions. Hey, the biggest, yes, I'm back. I'm back from my silent retreat, and good to be here with you. Happy Wednesday, wherever you are. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well too. Hi, Lucy. Welcome. And so the focus today is on energy is everything. Why no contact is not enough after narcissistic abuse. This is what we're going to be talking about today. So if you're ready to understand what has happened to you and distill it and overcome it, then you are in the right place. And tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. Today we're talking about energy is everything. Why no contact is not enough after narcissistic abuse. This is for any serious empath who is very interested in overcoming the challenges of narcissistic abuse and severing narcissistic abuse from your life once and for all. I do not consent, Earthlines. That's exactly it. Hello. How you doing? Welcome. Welcome in. Come on in. So tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody today. We're going into why no contact is not enough after narcissistic abuse. And so that's what we're going to be grappling with. Greetings, Sansan. Greetings. What it is. So happy to be here with you. Thanks for all the kind words and all that's coming in. But today we're going to be talking about energy is everything. Why no contact is not enough after narcissistic abuse. This is what we're going to be grappling with today. And so I'm very excited to go into this topic with you. And we'll get started in another minute or so, just trying to wait for a few people to gather around so we can get right into it. But this is a very powerful topic because a lot of people think escaping narcissistic abuse is simply going no contact or yellow rock or gray rock. And those are very useful. But really, we're going into higher detail. And the higher details we're going into, hey, Lifree, how you doing? Welcome in. The higher details we're going into is how to become an energetic mismatch so the narcissist can no longer find you, right? So energy is everything. We're talking about not just severing your presence from the narcissist or the groups of narcissists or bullies or whatever you want to call them, but really we're going to go into how you no longer are resonant to these narcissistic energies anymore. So come on in and tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. So it's probably useful to just get started because it's 1 after 9. Let me say this. You've been told to go no contact, but no one has told you how to go no frequency. You were told that cutting off the narcissist is key, but you weren't told or taught how to stop feeding them into your field, your energetic field. And so what we're going to get into the biggest today is not soothing words, although the words will be soothing, but we're here talking about freedom. Freedom from the tentacles of narcissistic abuse that have held you for a long time. That held me for a long time. And I often hear people, this is actually inspired by the live we had on Monday, where a good sister was talking about, God, I've been trying so hard and this continues to happen, and now I'm going blind, and why is this happening? And I was so touched by that conversation because I realized that her blindness was still related to her energetic connection to narcissistic abuse. So today, based on that inspiration from the sister, Samantha, I just wanted to get high helpful. So I just wanted to get more into the conversation around how to free yourself. And I'm not suggesting that you will go free today, but you might, right? Or maybe there's something here that activates you to cut off your energy, not just your presence, from this people or persons directly. So first of all, it's important. We all hear a lot about energy, 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 energy. But what is energy exactly? And so I want to talk about the first deception. And it's important to realize that energy is not a mood or a metaphor. It is the underlying law of reality. So let me give you a multidisciplinary perspective. And I'm going to borrow from many, many, many topics here. First of all, from a thermodynamic physical standpoint, energy can't be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed, meaning that every trauma, every interaction is a transaction of energy. In fact, even our conversation today is a transaction of positive energy. So you can imagine what it's like to deal with narcissistic energy. Then the second perspective is, again, borrowing from quantum physics, you, me, Hakim. Hakim, that's my brother. Hakim Tafar I. Welcome. So quantum mechanics says that you're not solid, you are frequency. Because probability waves collapsed by consciousness is what activates reality. So attention is the operator, right? And then you go into neuroscience, and neuroscience tells us that thoughts produce electromagnetic fields. You see me, right? This is the accent switch. What are you talking? It's all black, blackety black, CNK. What are you talking about, right? So thoughts produce electromagnetic fields, and emotions imprint the nervous system and recalibrate behavior. Love you too, CNK. Right? And you realize that what is happening here is your subconscious mind is energy in motion, emotion, energy in motion. And the human body emits measurable light. And when you go to trauma, trauma dims the light, whereas healing brightens that light. And you all know I'm a big fan of kinetic spirituality. So in the kinetic realm, your car is your life force. Your bar is your soul essence, and the arc is the immortal spark, which are your sacred energies. So any misalignment when you're dealing with people or situations that are not aligned to your energetic frequency is a violation of Ma'at, universal harmony. You see? So now I want to get into the nature of energy, entanglement, and narcissistic spells. Hey, Yvonne, good to see you. Hope you're keeping well. What exactly is energy? Energy is structured movement or spirit wrapped in motion and form. I just said something. Am I making sense, Ernest Red? Energy is structured movement and spirit wrapped in motion and form. Do you see what I mean? This is what energy is, Mutajanwa. This is what energy is. So when you're dealing with energy, what you're dealing with is the thing that powers your body and the stars. From a spiritual perspective, is the thing that transmits your soul identity. And from an esoteric perspective, it's how your karma circulates, right? So how do energies become entangled, particularly when you've gone through narcissistic abuse? Firstly, there's quantum entanglement. So once two energies interact with intensity, or two people, right? Whether it's a man or a woman, or two males or two women, whatever the case may be, these energies remain connected emotionally, mentally, and spiritually across time and space. High Priest Wellness, you know this, you've been through this. And it leads to emotional entrainment. What exactly is emotional entrainment? It is when empaths who are neurologically wired to sync with others absorb energies that don't belong to them. I've done this several times, and I know a number of you have as well. And when you become entangled energetically this way, it becomes a weapon used by your narcissist. Your nervous system learns to betray itself for the sake of keeping the peace. And then also, a lot of us sign unconscious contracts. And those contracts can sound like, I'll shrink if you love me. I'll abandon myself to stay connected, Yvonne. You know about this. I will play small just to keep you happy. I won't follow my dreams just so you don't feel threatened. And these unspoken vows bind your energetic field to the narcissist, because you have to remember that the narcissist is an energetic vampire. Someone tell me if I'm just talking to myself, because I don't like to just talk to myself. CNK, the basis of this behavior is trauma. A narcissist becomes a narcissist for several reasons, but I'll focus on the two major ones. The first is they were raised by a narcissistic parent as well, who invalidated them, or they were over idealized, thinking that they have to do all these things, right? You get me? So if you take on energy, then you take them, filter all of it. Exactly, Ernest. You're right. You are not king. Exactly, Hakim. I'm all ears. I'm glad you are. I'm glad I'm not talking to myself. Thank you. Thank you, honey Amber. I'm so glad. Thank you. Tellaboo. Exactly. You become a zombie. And it's magnetic, Yvonne. You're exactly right. So you want to be aware of the unconscious contracts. Thank you for all the feedback there. Give thanks, Hakim. Thank you so much for all the feedback. You sign these unconscious contracts that become spells in your life, right? So how do the narcissists ensnare your energy? We lose ourselves, exactly. Well, we know the cycle of narcissistic abuse, but I'll go through it just to make this point so you can see how each of these steps in narcissistic abuse happen in this way. What are your thoughts about black men statistically having the highest rates of narcissism? Where's your data coming from, CNK? I don't know. Give me some evidence, because here we only deal with science and evidence. And if you don't have any evidence, keep these opinions on the low, because we only deal with evidence and facts, not opinion. So let me go into the point. The narcissists, terrible gift thanks. The narcissists don't cast spells with candles. What they use is guilt, seduction, and false hope or breadcrumbing. And the way it starts starts with love bombing. So what is the spell they cast when they start to thank you, CNK, I appreciate that. What is the spell that is related to love bombing? Is that they hijack your dopamine, because they overload you with fantasies. Oh, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. You're a soulmate. Oh, you're a wonderful daughter, wonderful son. And the energetic impact is you emit surrender. You cast your power from yourself to the narcissist. Thank you, son. Give thanks, son. You know what it is. We don't play around here. It's just loveful vibes and high energy and high integrity. Then the second part is gaslighting. Gaslighting, Mike D. Gaslighting is a spell of control designed to confuse you for the purpose of control. That's all it is. Hey, this is what happens. And the result of gaslighting is you sever your intuition and you adopt the delusion of the narcissist as your own. You see the spell? Then the third is we don't play. Exactly, son. The third is triangulation. So what happens in triangulation? I remember I was in a relationship once, and anytime we'd go out, this person would say, oh, look at that guy. What do you think about him and his clothes? And back then I was so secure, but I knew the game we were playing. So I started to do it too. What do you think about her and her body? Oh, she couldn't handle that, right? But I'm no longer like that. But I'm just giving you the point. That's an example of triangulation. We lose our identity. So what begins to happen is when you're triangulated, you scatter energy trying to earn your place. You're trying to get approval from this narcissist. Then another thing they do, they're mirror slay, cow slay. You're right. Is future faking. And future faking is basically timeline theft. Right? They lie to you. We're going to have the best thing in the world, and we're going to buy these houses together, and I'm going to do this, and you're going to do this. The reason for that is to steal your timeline and hijack your dreams. That's the spell. You are hijacked. Then finally, there's hoovering, which is energetic baiting, right? They bait you energetically so they can hijack and reactivate the wounds that re-anchor them in your field, right? So the narcissist will go away and come back and love bomb you and hoover you just to open the wound, hoping you'll let them back in. So a lot of people After having gone through narcissistic abuse, and when you talk to most therapists or psychologists, you're offered, or even coaches, you're offered three options. Timeline theft, you said it. The three options are no contact, which is part of what we're talking about, yellow rock, or gray rock. The gray rock is yes, no, yes, no. Yellow rock is yes, no, and the sky is beautiful. But no contact is only the first layer of defense because it does not erase the energetic cords. Because you remember in the work by Bessel van der Kolk, the body keeps score. Exactly. You said it, Yvonne. This is what they do. So your body still remembers, and the nervous system keeps looping fear and guilt and fantasy and trauma. And the energetic cords remain, and unless they are removed, you continue to emote that data like a parasite on your Wi-Fi. And also, because you're still emotionally invested, how are they? What are they up to? That echo is their entry point. Because you remember, everything with a narcissist is energetic. Thank you, High Praise Wellness. Earth lines, the axe forgets, but the tree never forgets. Exactly. And class bottom, she did all these things. It's as if she has a play. It's a playbook. This is what we're going through. We're revealing these demons for what they actually are. And they're demons who are incredible teachers. So we're grateful to them. Right? So the fact is, a lot of us have blocked these narcissists or group of narcissists physically, but your field is still open. You see, the field is still open. And you see, the narcissist doesn't need access to your phone if they still have access to your nervous system. I just said something. The narcissist doesn't need access to your phone if they still have access to your nervous system. Am I making sense? Someone talk to me, Mike. Mike, talk to me. This is what happens. So how do you become, come on, the biggest, you're just incredible. Thank you, Sun. Thank you, Terubu. You see, delay accounts your purpose. So how do you become an energetic mismatch to the narcissist? Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, High Praise Wellness. How do you become energetically unmatched? You see, becoming energetically unmatched is simply physics. You know, positive, negative, there's a match, polarity. You want to become an energetic mismatch because when you are unmatched, that's elevation. You see, why do you feel guilty taking this for free, CNK? This is the mission. So I am doing my mission and giving freely because I receive freely. You see? So this is what it is. So we are in this together. And of course, if you want a free session, you can book a free session on my website and we match. We can get into some more mechanics of what it would take to work together over a period of time. But I want to talk about how to become, Trace Lee, thank you, how to become energetically unmatched. And the way you become energetically unmatched with a narcissist, I'll say this very simply, right? Although we're not in a binary world, they're just two emotions, love or hate. Everything is a variation of love or hate. As simple as that. Everything is a variation of love or hate. So if you are in a loving frequency, the narcissist can't reach you. If you're in a hateful frequency, full access. So I'll go through a few things here. And of course, if you want details on how you incorporate this into your life, then book a free session at innermanage.com. Let's talk more. But the first is play the game exactly, Terubu. You're right? But the first is to go through an energetic cord severance. And we did a little bit of this on Monday, I do not consent, which is about going through a ritual, thank you, Sansan, where you somatically release and declare, I collapse all contracts, known and unknown, across dimensions, timelines, and lineages. My field is sovereign. I reclaim all parts of me. You see, you have to actually cast these positive spells on yourself. The second is your nervous system has to be recalibrated, right? So there's a dear brother of mine here, Hakim Tafari, and you might see him in the chat, who is a powerful Qigong teacher. So Qigong is powerful for rebalancing your energies, right? Also cold plunges. Cold plunges are very powerful because you're resetting your body, right? You're resetting your body. High frequency music. That's why we listen to a lot of African music and reggae music and all these kind of soulful, solfeggio frequencies and binaural beats and indigenous rhythms. These are all ways of tuning your frequency to higher frequency. In the sun, you're right, the Ken guy, you're absolutely right. Mirror what? When you look at yourself in the mirror on the camera and you talk to yourself, I am abundant. I am a victor. I do not consent, like I'm doing now, right? I'm doing now on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. You talk to yourself. And then, of course, this personal outcome, regulated breath, terrible, is everything. The breath is everything. Thank you, Yvonne. The breath is everything. The breath is everything, terrible. You said it, right? Then, of course, getting to some deeper spiritual alchemy, but that's not for this forum. And if you want to learn more about that, just book a session with me. But in Ghana, in their Kan language, there's a saying, Mikra ye kesie. I'm saying it in the tree language from Ghana. Mikra ye kesie. Translation, my soul is greatness. This is a mantra that you can use. Hey, Jenny. So the benefits of really tapping into your energetic frequency so you're no longer a match for these narcissistic dynamics is coming into coherence with yourself. So when you meet yourself deeply, when you meet other people who've not met themselves, you already feel the lack of resonance, right? And you're not better or worse. My soul is greatness. You said it, soul sisters. You see, it's easy to blame others because it makes your ego feel good. Exactly. That can take accountability. This is what it's all about. This is why we're all grateful to all the narcissists in our lives over here. We love the narcissists and we wish them the best. We just don't want to be in relationship with these demons. That's it. But we recognize that they are also children of the earth. Hey, Sherilyn, my soul is greatness. So the benefits of coming to your energetic frequency, right, is that you start to radiate coherence. And when you're in coherence, you're only dealing with what is resonant. So as a result, you attract resonance into your life, not repetition. Your intuition, and I live by my intuition, right? Your intuition activates your compass. This intuition, our accountability is the first step, Yvonne. The light that you emit will begin to blind these parasites and you begin to attract people aligned to you. CNK, of course, the narcissist is a demon and is demonic. It's as simple as that. That's all it is, right? And when you wake up from narcissistic abuse, is to wake up to the truth of how the hell realm functions. Even though in the Buddha Dharma it says that the earth realm is the lowest of the highest realms, it's the hell realm. It's the plane of suffering. And the point of suffering is to overcome suffering. Divine alignment, high priest wellness. See, so when you start to sign energetically, you stop living in defense and you start to create from truth. We attract what we omit. This is exactly. So no omission, no edits. Be yourself unabashedly and truthfully so, because who you are is the most beautiful thing. The Jezebel spirit is in biblical terms, that's exactly right. It's the Jezebel spirit. That's what the narcissists are. And it's not normal behavior because psychologically it's called narcissistic personality disorder. It's a disorder. But the psychologists don't have a solution for it, which is why it's primarily in the spiritual realm. You also stop asking how to survive abuse and you start to build a life where abuse cannot survive. You see, when it comes to higher dimensions, nobody can tell you what it looks like. And anybody who tells you hasn't been there. You see, higher dimensions are based on self-initiation, based on the work that you do in your karma, right? So people can tell you there's 1,000 exploding suns and, the Kundalini rising and you get to Nibbana. But the only way you know it is when you've experienced it yourself. And when you experience it, you know what you've experienced, right? So I'm not going to fake the funk here with you. And coming into higher dimensions is basically having an appreciation for the ordinary, because the ordinary is the highest dimension. You see what I'm saying to you, CNK? Sun, my intuition too. Exactly. So let me talk a little bit about the cost. Hungry ghosts, that's exactly what they are, Terrible. Let me see if there are any comments on YouTube. Oh my, thank you, Cynthia. Hey, Sandy, greetings from Seattle, and it's good to know you're joining from Stockholm. Hey, Isabel, welcome. I'm glad it broke the spell. Hey, Live Free Kiki, it's always a pleasure to be here with you. Retroglow, what it is, man. Cynthia, I'm glad this is connected, right? This is what we're talking about, right? So let me go back. I'm going to start taking some more questions now. I can focus on your questions with a bit more precision, or maybe we take a call or two. But you see, the cost of not severing, thank you so much, Soul Sisters. The cost of not severing energetically is where most of us get stuck, right? Because you may go to therapy, you may go to coaching, you may work with a psychologist, you may take some medication, you may block the narcissist, you may go do some plant ceremonies, but those don't break the spell. They bring awareness. It doesn't break the spell though, right? What really happens is if you don't break the spell, you go through what's called a psychic drainage. You're constantly tired, you have brain fog, emotional flashbacks, right? And then in your relationships, you're just basically repeating the same dynamic. New face, same dynamic. New face, new body, same dynamic. Then your dreams are also hijacked because you start to build a life around fear instead of around vision, right? How the heck do they know how to circle back exactly when we're doing? Oh, CNK, that's a very wise question. It's because the narcissist is an energetic vampire, highly intuitive and highly attuned to your nervous system until you cut them off. This is why it's not magic. This is real. You see, and this is why it's important to cut the cord because another cost of not severing the energies is that you go through what is called a soul fragmentation. Your purpose stays dormant. You have delays, and you wonder why you're having delays. Your gifts remain blocked. And until you cut these cords, untended wounds become your identity. Layered trauma, exactly. Right? Unsevered ties become timelines that delay your destiny. And yes, because we haven't broken the cycle, it's like a bucket of water with a hole in it. Yvonne, you said it. Wise words. So, in conclusion, there's no freedom without energetic sovereignty, right? You cannot heal in the same field where you were hexed. What's going on, Mello? Mello, come on board if you have a question. You can invite yourself and get on video, right? You must become the frequency that the narcissist can no longer find. So this is what the game is about, right? So let's take some questions now, maybe from Instagram and Facebook if you want to ask a question, or maybe I'll just pick some random folks. Just come on board and ask your question, right? And let's talk about it, right? Whatever's on your mind, just come on board and ask your question, and then let's solve it together. There's no one like you, so just inviting a couple of people, see who's into it. Melos, what is on your mind? What's happened to you, right? What do you need help with? What exactly is going? Hey, Freeman, how you saved my life. Oh, you're so kind, Freeman. We're saving each other. We're walking each other home. That's what Das would say, right? Cheryl Lynn, my mother said that her last child was her first and only to strangers and in front of me. Yes, the reason she said that to you is because you were her enemy. She already knew you were an empath. This is and I don't even have to talk to you to know that. This is exactly what it is. And that in itself was a spell. Vicky, it's my mother, and so painful and difficult. She's 80 and alone. That's her karma, Vicky. Am I rude for saying that, Vicky? That's her karma. This is exactly what it is. You see, that's her karma. And that's why she is, you see, when you begin to forgive and forgive deeply, this is what you see. Hi, Jenny, how you doing?
Hi there. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, wherever you are. Tell us what's on your mind and what's happened to you. What's the story?
Well, so my mother's been a big part of, the toxicity in my life. So I spoke to you a while ago. I did the whole cutting her off several times in my life. But then I've been getting another message as far as sometimes people, and I just want to get your opinion on it. Sometimes people and challenges that they bring to our lives give us an opportunity to heal, but not only heal us, but also heal them. And I know we're not responsible for other people's healings, but sometimes we can trigger it. So if you're able to maintain healthy boundaries with someone who previously was toxic, is that recommendable? Is that okay if it brings... Because sometimes, I'm going to be honest, it was a challenge to completely cut people off because I felt, I just felt uneasy. It was hard for me to be a person of love and accepting others when I cut my family off. So how can I love myself, be loved, feel like if I can change, other people can change, but these people can't. So I'm going to cut them out of my life and live, my life because that's what I'm here to do. So it's been a bit of a conflict to have both thoughts of, ways to handle it and figuring out, which is, I guess it just depends on how you feel. If it's in alignment with how you feel in the moment, and it's fluid, it can change. You can shut it down if it becomes toxic again. But I'm just wondering, like, what your
you just revealed everything right there, Jenny. You said you just said it can't change if it becomes toxic again.
Right.
You see, so this is how. Can I just be direct with you? Do I have your permission just to be honest?
Absolutely.
So you are still addicted to toxicity, and you're addicted to the feeling of being accepted. Because once you know a narcissist, you know the narcissist is recalcitrant, incapable of shifting, because it's a demonic affliction. And the narcissist or group of narcissists are committed to misunderstanding you because they know who you are. So what you do, Jenny, is you make excuses for them. That's why they keep coming back. Am I just talking to myself, Jenny? You got to tell me, my sister.
No, I mean, that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, you can make and I have to admit that severing energetically from a narcissist or group of narcissists is not for the faint of heart. That's why I say anybody who's done this is a true spiritual gangster. Because I often tell this Christian joke. It says the universe or God will bless you with strangers, whereas the devil will hurt you through your loved ones. Am I just talking to myself, Jenny?
Amen.
So here it is, right? Who was the biggest narcissist in your life? Let me ask you that.
My mother.
What were some of the things she would say to you and about you?
She would talk bad about me to my partners in front of my face sometimes.
What would she say specifically?
That I'm hard to be with, that I'm hard to live with, even though I'm almost like the savior in her life, to her and to my brothers. I get parentified.
Right. Why did she say these things to your partners and lovers? Why did she say it to them?
Her explanation was she thought she was helping me. Mine is to keep me single and available to her.
Okay, you just said it. Because you are the energizer bunny for your mom. She used you to regulate herself with your energy, your nervous system, your resources. So anybody who came into your life was competition. So what she did was she cast spells by toxifying your relationships. And you're thinking she's toxic sometimes. Don't you see the game here? Is that the mark of a person who loves you?
No.
So where are you confused, Jenny?
I think it's just like, just the belief up in the church. Not that the church is a whole another traumatic thing, but I do feel spiritual and connected to God. But feeling like if everyone was created by God and God loves all and God loves us in our form that we come in.
Can I interrupt you with love?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
God gave us discernment.
Mm-hmm.
And also in every major spiritual or religious text, you're told, do not be mindful of who you spend time with. Be friends with spiritual people just like you. Love all, hate none, but use discernment. But you want to cast your pearl before swine because you've been conditioned to do that. I mean, am I just talking to myself, Jenny?
No.
And you're a true empath. So you want to save. But you see, when an empath comes into the life of a narcissist, you come to the life of a narcissist for two reasons: to be a blessing or a lesson.
Right.
And what the outcome is dependent on the narcissist's choice. So if the narcissist poo-poos the blessing because you're her daughter or the lover and they think they can take you for granted, then what you eventually become is a lesson. You are the ultimate karma for the narcissist because you have to realize that most narcissists, until they encounter an empath, are undefeated. Most narcissists, prior to encountering a true empath, are undefeated.
Yeah.
Don't you see the game? Mm-hmm. And everything the narcissist does is designed to maintain control. The narcissist is driven by control whereas the empath is driven by connection. That's the game. So your drive for connection is, oh, maybe I can heal them, or maybe if they're toxic sometimes, and this is how you fall for the trick, the okey doke,
Yeah.
because of your beautiful heart, Jenny.
Gotcha.
And your heart is just like your pearl. You cannot cast your pearl before swine. Because what happens when you put your pearl before swine? What happens, Jenny?
It's taken.
And what else?
Taken?
What else happens?
I'm not sure.
It gets trampled upon like it's nothing. Yeah, and that's the spell. So do you want to keep feeling like you're nothing?
No.
Or do you want to wake up to your divine calling or why you're here?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are you still confused about? I'm saying this with love, Jenny. You know I am. You know I am.
I know you are. I don't know what still keeps me. Yeah.
You are a giant who's acting like you are a Lilliputian. So I'm going to play this for you. This is African Giant by Burna Boy. Woo! You better realize you're a giant. Whee! You can't touch the African giant. No narcissist. Hey! This is for you, Jenny. You are a giant who is acting like she forgot she's a giant. And when you're a giant, you're like a crow. You know how crows, you know how eagles defeat crows? When an eagle is sitting on a perch and a bunch of crows come, what does the eagle do? Anybody? The eagle doesn't fight back.
Yeah, it just sits there.
And then what else does it do?
Does it just fly off?
Thank you.
Okay.
And when it starts to fly at an altitude that the crows cannot reach. And what happens to the crows?
They fall off.
Thank you very much. So why are you spending time with them crow them? What kind of crowish behavior? And I love crows because they bring me messages, but what kind of crowish behavior is this when you're an eagle?
Right.
What kind of behavior is this, Jenny?
Man, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I mean, she's not active in my life. She's in Puerto Rico right now, and she's doing her thing, and I'm not reaching out, and she's not reaching
You are
out.
energetically connected, and the energy has nothing to do with time and space. Come on, let's not play this game, Jenny. Come on.
Okay. So I have to have another breakup with her.
I do not consent. I do not consent. I am no longer tethered to any energies that siphon from me. I do not consent. Jenny, say it with me with your permission. I do not consent. I do not consent to any energies that are not for my highest good.
I do not consent to any energies that are not for my highest good.
I do not consent to any energies that are not reciprocal like I am.
I do not consent to any energies that are not reciprocal like I am.
I do not consent to any energies that do not honor me the way I honor them.
I do not consent to any energies that honor me the way that I honor them.
Just take a deep breath with me. What are you noticing?
It feels good. It feels good. It feels validating. It feels peaceful. Because I don't feel hung up on my spiritual ascension.
That's right. You're stuck.
I got messages that, when you cut people off, you don't offer healing to both.
It's not your job to offer healing to nobody. Everybody's responsible for their own karma.
Gotcha.
But as you heal yourself, you become a lighthouse for those who want to learn from you, an example that it is possible. That's what you're talking about. But it's not your job to do it for anyone. You can't. Your job is to model what it looks like. So people say, that's an example. Jenny did it, so can I. And those who are assigned to you will come to you and say, Jenny, can you show me how you did it?
Wow.
Did I just say something to you?
Yeah.
So Jenny, What's your final word for the collective before I let you go? What do you want to say to us before you bounce?
Just keep building that confidence to finally take that last step. It's not an overnight thing. It's just something you have to
You said it.
realize you're worthy enough to embrace and honor
You said it.
for yourself.
You said it. You said it. And whenever you're in doubt, Jenny, remember the song I played for you. This is African Giant by Burna Boy. And
Okay.
remember, this dreadlock African told you that you are a giant. And remember, a spiritual giant. Remember that. Yes?
Yes.
And come back anytime, Jenny. You're always
you,
welcome
Harvey.
here. I appreciate
Much
you.
love.
One love, one love, one love, one
Yes,
love.
thank you.
Yeah. This is the message. Isabel, this is the message. Kat, how you doing? Isabel, you're right. Reinforcement, repetition. This is what it is. This is what it is. Kiki, you got it. This is what it is. Cynthia, this is what it is. Yvonne, Jenny's now the teacher. You said it, Yvonne. This is what it is. And when you become the living stone, you become the living embodiment of what's possible. You see, this is the whole story. So you can't keep playing this game of being energetically tethered. You have to be free from it. And the moment you become free from it, this is what happens. You see, this is what happens. And then you become the example, the living example of everything that you wanted. Maybe we'll get one or two more. One more, maybe one more before we call it a day, right? Just giving you these messages, right? So this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. You see, that you wake up and you wake up energetically, that you realize that no contact is one level. And by the way, no contact may not be practical for everyone, right, Dawn Marie? It may not be, right? And I understand that. And even if no contact is not possible for you, you can still energetically disconnect yourself. Even if you live in the same place with the person, you see, this is what it's about. And you become kind of no longer connected to that kind of energy, right? And the reason why you're still connected to that energy is because there's still some lessons to learn. And once you learn those lessons, it's game over. There's nothing else. You see, there's nothing else. Once you learn the lesson, and the lesson you're supposed to learn is you are a high vibrational spiritual being having a human experience. And you're not the bottom like they made you feel like you were. You are actually the whole story, the whole enchilada. But they tricked you to think you were nothing, Dawn Marie. You know, we take our control back, we take our power back. And then we start using that power to create the new earth. You see, the new earth is not a place, it's a frequency where other people like you and I are creating hope. Are realizing that the matrix exists within us. I moved out of the bedroom 2 years ago. I'm moving out to I claim it. Thank you, honey Amber. I'm so happy for you. I'm sure it's not easy, but you're doing it. You see, it's a process, and you just have to trust yourself that when you need it, the strength you need will show up. You see, that the strength you need will show up. You see, so you just have to know that it's not just about removing contact while still thinking about them. It's about becoming energetically unmatched to these people. And the moment you become energetically unmatched, you've won. They keep sabotaging my new homes communities. I'm so tired of starting over. 759. The reason why you have to keep starting over is because you haven't learned the lesson yet. And the moment you learn the lesson, there's nothing else to start over. You see, the moment you learn the lesson, there's nothing else to start over. And so the reason why the lesson keeps repeating is you still have a lot to learn and you're still repeating cycles. And that's why I'm going to play this song. This song is titled Looks Are Deceiving. This is Damian Marley. Because with the narcissist, everything they do is deceiving. And when you understand that, you're not going to be confused by looks that are deceiving. Yeah, you get me? This is what it's about. So this is the message, my family. This is the message. And I want to thank you for receiving. I want to thank you for your time and attention. I want to thank you for the good energy. I want to thank you for sharing, for asking questions, for being engaged. Each one teach one. That's the message. Let us keep rising and ascending. And we'll be back here on Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, same time. And if I can answer any questions for you, if you want to have a more one-on-one conversation with me, just visit my website, innermileage.com, or you can book a free 30-minute session. I was told that will be nothing today, but I'm about to have a book published and a business. Sherilyn, you're my hero. Sherilyn, you are my hero. You see what I'm saying? So one love, people. One love. Sending blessings and light. And we'll see you back here on Friday, yes? And remember, looks are deceiving. So open your inner eye. Open your inner eye. Iman, greetings. Open your inner eye. You get me? One love. And see you in a couple of days. Peace and light. Peace and light. Yeah, man. Peace and light. Peace and light. Peace and light. Peace and light.